The season prior, they tried to have a conversation about colorism, and it really went nowhere because the next season, once again, they felt like Giselle and Robin were being protected by the producers no matter what they did, and that the dark-skinned women like Candace and Wendy, they were being made into villains. And so when they tried to get into that conversation again, Wendy, she shut it down. She said, these ladies do not have the range for us to get into this conversation. And
yes, she right.
Yeah, because there was Robin on the stage is saying that she was dealing with reverse colorism. So it really, once again, went nowhere. But do you have any thoughts on that at all?
I do. And I don't watch reality TV, at least not that, like those versions of reality TV. And even though I went on the MTV Roundtable for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, it was understood that, you know, these issues are not about one particular show, but that they're kind of pervasive throughout the entertainment industry. But what I've seen in conversations around, whether it be Basketball Wives or Real Housewives franchises, is that they are casting people with a colorist bias. Right. So even in the casting of these shows in the first place, they are subscribing to colorism, even in the casting of the shows to begin with. But then as the series plays out, as the seasons play out, those lighter skinned cast members that are on the show are bringing their bias. So here's the thing. When light-skinned people internalize colorism, we get arrogance and we get conceitedness and we get ego, right? A lot of them really do believe that they are the cuter people. They do believe that they are the more deserving people. And so you see that playing out, and they're used to getting away with it. They're used to getting away with bad behavior, right? And they're used to getting away and being given the benefit of the doubt. And so all of that is playing out on the show. And then that, you know, because it's sort of, people love drama. I worked at the TV station. I worked for the TV news station. They said if it bleeds, it leads, right? People don't want positive news stories. They want to know who committed the crimes, what house blew up last night. Tell me about the really dramatic news. And so all of that fuels and stirs like the bottom line of these shows and these companies. And if everyone was getting along, if all the women were supportive of each other, and if they were being sisterly and they were like, oh, let's work together to achieve our goals and like affirm each other, they would cancel the show. You know what I mean? And so what we have to understand is that there's not a whole lot of incentive to decrease the drama. And so if allowing colorism to persist also allows the drama and the conflict to persist, then the producers and the showrunners are going to allow that because they need a source of conflict in these shows. And colorism, unfortunately, is a prime source of that conflict. And when you think about examples or instances where they've tried to have the colorism conversation, I say colorism plays out in those conversations itself, right? So it's so interesting to me that even when I'm trying to talk to people about colorism, like you can see people perpetuating colorism in the conversations about colorism. And I'm like, y'all are doing it right now. And so that those accusations of, you know, well, but you're just a little too aggressive. You're a little too rough, you know, for the dark-skinned people, like that is colorism. Like y'all are doing it in real time. But I think the bottom line is they just don't have an incentive to really address the issue, because a lot of the people making the money, a lot of the people in power are beneficiaries of colorism themselves. And again, colorism is a easy fuel for the conflict that they need to keep the show going.